We're pleased to welcome, representing the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, head coach MaChelle Joseph, senior center Sasha Goodlett, and sophomore guard Ty Marshall. Coach Joseph, if you don't mind opening us up with a statement.
Sure. First of all, I just want to say how excited we are to be here in North Carolina, to be here at Chapel Hill and have an opportunity to compete on a neutral floor in the NCAA Tournament. This is our 6th appearance in 6 years in the NCAA Tournament, and this is the first time, actually only the second time in 6 years we've been on a neutral floor. So we're obviously very excited to have this opportunity, not only to be in North Carolina, be in the middle of ACC country and in a familiar arena that we've actually had some success in the last couple of years. So when we saw our name come up and we were coming to Chapel Hill, obviously we couldn't have been happier with the draw. You know, I really feel like we're playing some of our best basketball right now, going down the stretch. We had a nice run in the ACC tournament. Really feel like Ty Marshall and Sasha Goodlett established themselves as 2 of the best players in the ACC in the tournament, and really feel like our team has found itself and understands our roles and what we need to do to be successful.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll open it up for questions for the student athletes as well as Coach Joseph.
I'm covering for Atlanta also, as well as you touched on it already, but the women's bracket always has a lot of inconsistencies where higher seeds get to play on the home floor against teams that would be favored.
Right.
Do you think that's a disservice to teams, you know, in the tournament, that they're not being rewarded properly for regular season accomplishments?
Well, you know, we have to understand why we are doing this in our women's game. It's to grow our game. It's to grow our fan base, to try to bring more fans to the NCAA tournament. And so it's something that obviously it's not a fair way to do it, but it's the best way to do it right now for women's basketball. In the past, you know, the top 16 seeds hosted. Then we went to neutral sites in the cities of hosts, but not on their home court. And then we went back to home courts for people that bid, you know, for the tournament. So it's where we are in our game right now. And, you know, is there a better way to do it? You know, I'm not sure. I think we're all looking at that. We're all always searching, trying to find what's the best way to have this tournament and make it the most fair that we can. But right now, this is where we are with women's basketball.
So you are. So you're the home team. You're undefeated here this year.
That's right. 1-0.
Mike Potter for the Independent. How ironic, I guess that's it, is it that your signature wins this season, 2 of them were probably over North Carolina, and you get to play on their home court. And how comfortable do you all feel playing in this building, since you know it a little bit?
We'll start with Coach.
You know, obviously we have a lot of respect for North Carolina, their team and their staff and what they represent. And, you know, we obviously felt very fortunate to come out of here with that win about a month ago. Seems like about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago we were here. But we felt very fortunate to come away with a win here. And then the win, obviously, if anybody watched the game, was a very close game in the ACC tournament. You know, in my opinion, I feel like North Carolina deserved to be in the NCAA tournament. So, you know, it's one of those things that it's unfortunate for them. But I do feel like my team earned this seed for our body of work. We did not play a home game the entire season. To have the most wins in the history of our program and not play at home says a lot about this team and the strength and character of this team. But at the same time, I never would have dreamed that this was where we were going to be sent, but we're really happy to be here. And obviously I know I feel very comfortable here, and it's been great. You know, we've been in the Midwest the last 5 years, so to be here in the middle of ACC country and, you know, hopefully be able to pull some of these ACC women's basketball fans into the game because we are here, you know, hopefully that'll happen for us because we feel like we play really hard and play a brand of basketball that people want to see.
Sasha, you want to address that?
Sure. Honestly, I feel really comfortable in North Carolina Jam just for the simple fact we've played them here every year. So, and this being my senior year, this being my 4th time back, you know, it just feels, you know, it feels good. Like I said, I feel proud that, you know, we're able to be here and that our team worked hard enough, like in the off season, the preseason, to actually afford to be here today. So.
Ty?
Yes, I'm comfortable being here in this arena. I mean, since I've been here at Tech, I mean, I've been 2-0 in this gym, so I feel real comfortable. And having the teammates that I have, you know, I think we've been working hard for it, and I think we deserve it, and it's just a great opportunity for us.
Well, follow-up, because you're ranked number 15, I think, in the final polls across. Do you think the ACC kind of got a raw deal out of it, that North Carolina, maybe Virginia, didn't get into the tournament?
Well, when you look at our conference and we have 4 teams in the top 15 in the country, and those are the only 4 teams that got in the tournament, you got to kind of look at that, and you got to ask the question why a Virginia who, beats Tennessee and ends up with a winning record, wins 20 games and ends up with a winning record in the ACC play doesn't get in the tournament. I find that strange and kind of scary, the fact that North Carolina and Virginia won 20 games. North Carolina beat Virginia twice, and North Carolina beat Miami. And they both have signature wins, and why they did not get in the tournament is it's scary to me as a coach in the ACC. It's something we got to look at, and we got to figure out what happened, because I think both those teams are very deserving of postseason play, and both of them are very competitive programs.
Any other questions? Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, you've won 13 of your last 16, and you had a nice run in the ACC tournament. You lost to top 5 Maryland by 3. Do you feel like you're playing your best basketball of the year right now?
I definitely think we are. It was one of the things where I think when Ty is playing at her best and she's scoring for us, we're a really hard team to beat. Obviously when Sasha's doing what Sasha does and our role players are stepping up, but when Ty is on her game offensively and we got 2 great scorers inside and outside, we're a very tough team to beat. And I think that's what you've seen over the last few games. It started here at North Carolina with Ty. She scored like the last 3 baskets against North Carolina to help us win that game. Single-handedly kind of took over the game at the end, and ever since then she's kind of been on a roll. And so I feel very confident, with when Ty and Sasha are at their best, and our role players are hitting perimeter shots, we're playing very good basketball. And right now we just happen to be playing very good basketball. Those 3 losses all to the same 2 of them are the same team. So,
Ty, you want to address that? Just how y'all are playing down the stretch?
I just think, playing for my teammates and, just stepping up and being able to understand that my team needs me to score, and I do whatever I can to help them win. And I think I just stepped up into that role and kind of focused in and being able to do what I can for my team.
Yeah, Mike?
So I heard you say you stayed in a hotel before every game at Gwinnett, or most of them? Okay, well, players kind of to address that you never really got – where did you practice most of the time? And then how do you think that strengthened your team?
Well, first of all, we stayed in the hotel the day of the game, but on the weekends we stayed in Gwinnett overnight and then played on a Sunday. So it was a combination. But we practiced in our practice facility on campus. We never practiced in Gwinnett, only one time the whole year. But we did our shooting practices there, and then we would play there that night. As far as, it's a 45-minute drive to Gwinnett. So every day we were driving, an hour and a half to play a game. And it was really we took a negative and turned it into a positive, because it made us a stronger road team, and I think it made us tougher down the stretch. In the ACC tournament, playing on a neutral floor, when we walked into Greensboro, it was like playing in Gwinnett Arena. It was like the same feeling. So I really think it helped us in that postseason environment. I also think it's helped our program. I think we had the most road wins in the history of our program this year, and I think that was because it was just a mindset. We knew going in, every game's a road game. So it wasn't like, oh, we're going to play this one at home, playing this one on the road. And I think it's going to impact our program for a long time. For all these players the underclassmen that played, 30-plus games on the road this year, and next year being at home is going to be like, this is easy compared to what we went through. So,
Sasha, you want to speak to that?
When Coach first told us that, we weren't going to have, basically a home court, we just had to take it for what it was. We didn't sit here and soak over it. We weren't mad about it. We weren't bitter about it. It was just like, okay, us 5 seniors have the responsibility to make sure that our team isn't rattled by it. So we never sat there and tried to look at it as this being a problem. We never wanted to use it. Our biggest thing is we didn't want to use it as an excuse. We don't want people to say, well, they didn't have a home court. We want people to be more impressed the fact that we didn't have one. We never looked at it as a problem. We had a great fan base in Gwinnett. We had a lot of high school come out and a lot of supporters come out to make that drive, which was very, very nice of them. And at the end of the day, I feel like it did help us because, playing on a neutral floor every game, it has its perks at the end, because now every time we go to a gym that's unknown to us, we feel like we're at home because of the simple fact that we've done it before.
All right, any other questions? Yeah, Brad?
Coach, score-wise, a lot of your games ended up being pretty close. Can you speak to the comfort level that your team has in close contests, and what dividends you think that's going to pay in the tournament?
Well, I think that's one of the things when you have 5 seniors, you feel very comfortable. You have a senior point guard and a senior center, you feel very comfortable in close game situations. And, we've got a player like Ty Marshall who refuses to lose, and in those end-of-game situations wants the basketball. When you have those kind of players on your team with the experience these players have, I don't have one player on my team that hasn't been in an NCAA tournament. Every player on my team, their entire career has been in NCAA tournament games. So that's a tremendous experience, to have top to bottom. And so we understand every one of them have won 20-plus games every year they've been at Georgia Tech. So, we have that type of postseason experience. We have that type of mentality that we step on the floor, we expect to win. And, doing down the stretch, we learned this when we play such a tough schedule. We play one of the top 12 schedules in the country this year. And when we went to San Juan and we were playing against Wisconsin Green Bay, went into overtime, and they only lost 1 game this year. And we ended up losing that game at the end. And I think what we took away from that game was we refused to lose at the end. Whatever it takes. Now we get in those situations and we just say to each other, whatever it takes. And that's what happened when we came here to North Carolina. We were down 3 minutes to go, and we just said whatever it takes, and we made it happen. And I think being in those experiences early on in the season help you in postseason and in pressure situations.
Yeah, Coach, what do you know about Sacred Heart, style of play, and the matchups they'll present for you?
Sacred Heart, watching them, we've watched a lot of their games, and they do a great job. But they remind me of Green Bay a lot, where they have 4, sometimes 5 guards that all want to take you off the bounce or shoot threes. There's not really a true center on their team. They're mostly perimeter players, all of them. So they present matchup problems for us. And obviously they have 2 really great players, but one of their players leads the NCAA in double doubles. She has 52 on her career, number 1 in the NCAA. So that's obviously a concern for us. Going in, and we've learned a long time ago. We don't fear anybody. We respect everybody, and that was a hard lesson we had to learn in an NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. So I think our seniors understand we will never overlook an opponent, and we've not talked about anybody but Sacred Heart, and that's all our focus and concentration is on. And we're going to be prepared as we can be to come in here and play as competitively as we can.
All right, Mike.
What is the danger when you play a smaller school with nothing to lose, like the things that happened in the men's tournament yesterday, and I want players to address that as well?
Okay. Well, like I mentioned, we came into the tournament, it was 2 years ago, and we got sent to Oklahoma, and we were caught up in the fact that we felt like we had earned a neutral site. We ended up on a home floor, and we got looking ahead, and we lost sight of Arkansas Little Rock, and we got upset in that tournament. In that game, it was one of the higher seeds we'd ever had, and so that taught us all a very valuable lesson. And I think if you don't experience that, it's very easy sometimes to look ahead and think, overlook, we played better teams, or faster, more athletic teams. But since that happened to us, it's put us in a situation where that will not happen. We will not overlook anyone. And, we have tremendous respect for Sacred Heart and what they represent. And I told them 2 weeks ago, whoever we play in the first round of the NCAA tournament is going to be a champion. They're going to win a championship. And anybody that wins a championship, you have to respect. And, Sacred Heart won their tournament. They won their regular season. And they have the Player of the Year in their conference and the Freshman of the Year. So there's no reason we shouldn't respect them.
Ty, you want to address that?
Yes. As Coach said, the team that we're playing is coming off of a win. So, we've been preparing for them all week and, just getting ready to play. And, everybody has a focus that, we got to take it one game at a time. And this is the first game, and we have to shut down an opponent. I mean, they have good players, but we also have good players. So, we just got to take the challenge head on and, come out, play how we know how to play, and be able to take the win, get the win, so we can move on.
Sasha?
The dangerous thing about Sacred Heart is the fact that right now they won a championship. They're playing their best basketball. And now, the seasons are over with. I mean, you can look at respective seasons, what you've gone, all your accomplishments, but those are past accomplishments. Now it's all about the score 0-0. The wins-loss 0-0. And the dangerous part about it is you lose, you go home. So the simple fact that with a team like Sacred Heart, they're never going to quit. They're never going to give up. Watching their film, they play so hard, and give much respect to them and much credit to their team and their program. They play so extremely hard, but so do we. So we're all prepared about just coming out here, 2 blue-collar teams getting ready to go to work and give a great show.